Warning: the following video contains descriptions and sounds of a car crash and a graphic depiction of a cat dying. Welcome back to Will, A Wonderful World. Last time, we met a new character. Someone who really truly needs help. 12-year-old Park Sang-gun. And so we gave it to him. Carlos also got to experience a little more of the gang life. But none of that matters because now we've unlocked a new character. We have unlocked Cat. Even the subtitles said meow, meow. Rain and tears. And who is Cat linked to?
부처님, 나도 좀 도와줘요.
Cat is linked to the cop. Cat being able to pray to God brings up an interesting question. Who handles this kind of situation? Or is it just that gods can understand everything? And also, cats have the same gods as humans do? Let's not keep you waiting. Let's see what our cat friend wants. I was a stray kitten. Dad called me Spotty. Before I continue, I have to point out, I haven't really commented on the frames or the backgrounds of these, but look at the fishbone and the paw. Look at the fishbone and the paw. Daddy was like a daddy to me. He was an older homeless cat who had always taken care of me. Ever since he found me, he would always bring me with him wherever he went. He'd given me my name, too. He had told me it was because of the yellow spots on my tail. Whenever we found some goodies, Daddy would always let me have the first bite. He would stroke my head and tell me, "Kiddo, help yourself. You're only 3 months old. You need more food to grow up." I always liked Daddy the best. Today, Daddy was going to take me to the hill and catch some birdies, but it started raining heavily. Daddy said that because of the rain, the birdies wouldn't come out for their sunbath today. So we had to go back to the street like yesterday and look for some goodies to eat. I hoped we would find more tasty chicken legs and fish steaks. Meow. Unlike in the wild, there are many two-legged animals walking on the street. Daddy told me they are called humans. Because of the humans, the street was always very crowded, all day, all night. Sometimes when we came to a place where there were a lot of humans, a few female humans would excitedly meow at me. What a cutie! And if I let them touch my head with their paws, I could often get some goodies too. But Daddy always warned me to keep my distance from them. Daddy said that humans are not to be trusted. The street was just across the road. I could see the shop with the fish sign from here. But we had to wait for the light to change. I'm very proud of Daddy for teaching Spotty about traffic safety. Also, that sudden meow before made me wonder if I should have adopted a different voice for Spotty. Or should have given Spotty a particular voice. We'll figure this out as we go. Daddy explained that the traffic laws in Korea... So You know what? That makes sense. Why his body's linked with Gyeong-min now. That the traffic laws in Korea are very strict. The fine is over 20,000. How does Daddy know about human fines? If we were caught, even if we turned in all of our hidden dried fish treats, it wouldn't be enough. And there were many iron beasts running so fast in the streets. Daddy said those beasts are made by humans and they are called cars. They're very dangerous, and we must be careful not to get hit. So we must obey the law.
Meow.
The light finally turned green. I sprinted a little and went ahead. Daddy followed me slowly. He was a little old and he'd been injured before, so he couldn't see very well. A beast near us suddenly let out a huge roar of bang! And smoke came out from under it.
Cats. Do they have pointy ears and a long tail?
Yes.
And they know how to watch the traffic lights?
Yes. You know what also has pointy ears and a long tail? Fluffy.
They know how to write letters too?
Good question. Maybe they can write in their own language. We're gods, so we'll always receive the translated version of their letters.
That's fascinating. I wonder what the original letter looks like.
The beast seemed to have suddenly become shorter and it was charging directly towards Daddy, screeching and screaming. But it was green light, meow! The ground was covered with water and it was very slippery. I heard a sound like I looked back. He had slipped. I ran over, trying to grab him. The beast ran over Daddy in an instant. It didn't stop until it was almost at the crossing. A human kid opened the door on the beast and ran towards me and Daddy. Please help, Daddy. I yelled at him for help. But the kid tripped just a few steps away from us. I recognized him. His name was Park Sang-gung. He lived nearby. Well, that was unexpected. I often got goodies from him. He was a good kid. He would help Daddy for sure. I kept meowing louder and louder, and a few more adult humans in white coats followed him out of the beast. I thought they were all coming to help me and my daddy, but they stopped at where Sang-gun fell and pinned him on the ground. Oh, I don't like where this is going. While they were trying to drag him away, I saw a big, dark red scar on the back of his neck. I had seen people in his home beat him. I didn't know he had been hurt so badly. Sang-gun was dragged away by the white-coated humans and thrown inside the beast once again. And then the beast just ran away. The whole time, nobody had even heard me meowing for help. I saw Daddy lying in his own blood. I almost couldn't recognize him anymore. I cried. Please take Daddy to the hospital. Please. Someone. The humans walked by, glanced at us, and kept walking. It was like they couldn't even see us or hear us anymore. Some humans covered their noses as if they had seen a dead rat. They were not like us before. They used to like touching our heads with their paws. Why? Why? Was Daddy right? Were humans really not to be trusted? God, please help Daddy. So we definitely have to help Spotty. I'm not sure what helping Spotty entails at this point. Ideally it'd be nice to just sort of save Daddy, but that might not be possible. But also more horrifying is what's being mentioned here. What's happening to Park Sang-gun? Because Sang-gun's clearly trying to get away from, it looks like he might be being taken to an institution? Or maybe just going to be examined. Who knows? But maybe we can help Sang-gun by helping Spotty. First though, let's see what Justice Cop has to do with this. I thought the lieutenant would commend me for resolving a crisis on my first day. Instead, I was scolded in front of the entire office as soon as I got back from the scene. I was even told to write a discipline report. Yeah, 'cause you didn't resolve a crisis, man. You actually kind of fucked it up until you prayed to God for help. How dare you, Gyeong-min? Taking credit for our hard work. We had to solve multiple problems to help you. Excuse me? And it had to be at least 10,000 words long. I'd always hated writing. I'd rather run 100 laps on the field. That's why it's called a punishment. So I decided to simply Google similar reports online without the lieutenant noticing. The protector of society. After lots of copying, pasting, and rearranging, I finally completed the 10,000 word report. I felt exhausted afterwards, so I went to the bathroom to wash my face. I could still feel the impact to my organs after falling on the cushion. Fortunately, I was fit enough to endure it. A regular person, who was not a fighting game character, would probably have to stay in the hospital for a few days. I looked in the mirror and saw the band-aid on my face. I gave myself a proud smile. I was just getting out of the bathroom when I witnessed something incredible with my own eyes. Lieutenant Kang was holding a folder in front of him. Even though his face was mostly hidden behind it, I could still clearly see his expression from where I was. The cigarette he had in his mouth was slightly twisted. Some watery stuff was coming out from his eyes. They were, without a doubt, tears. Is this really the eccentric dictator that I've been hearing about? And should I leave the room now? Should I? Should I? Officer Min-jun had left the office a while ago. The lieutenant must have thought I had gone home too. If he saw that I was still in the office right now, would he kill me for seeing all that? I was still struggling with the most difficult decision in the history of mankind when Lieutenant Kang closed the folder. I quickly hid back in the bathroom and didn't come back out until I heard him walking out of the office wing. I looked around the office and realized that I was alone. I couldn't help but start walking closer to Lieutenant Kang's desk without even realizing it myself. The folder was still on the desk. It was a red folder. It said Archives of Criminal Investigation Unit 2 on its cover. Unit 2. I heard that a few years ago, the entirety of Unit 2 had been killed in a violent incident. Afterwards, Unit 2 became the only unit in the Busan Police Criminal Investigation Department that had a designation, but no members. Some people called it a ghost unit. Due to the severity of the case, no one in the station would talk about it, especially the older officers who had been in the precinct when it happened. Why did Lieutenant Kang care so much about Unit 2? Had he lost some colleagues during the incident? Wait, why did I care? It had nothing to do with me. I should just mind my own business. I went back to my seat. I created a new document on my computer. Then I typed the title, Unit Transfer Request. But I couldn't think of another word afterwards. My brain was totally blank. It must have been worn out after writing that damned report today. Yes, writing. Yes, that's what we call it now. I was straining my brain to figure out what to say next when a big hand slapped my shoulder. Yo! The new guy at Unit 4 is working hard. Wish my people could be half as diligent as you. The voice sounded loud and powerful, as a booming bullhorn. I almost jumped out of my skin when I suddenly heard it behind my back. I turned around. It was Lieutenant Kim Jong-ho of Unit 3. I stood up from the chair quickly and gave him a salute. He waved his hand. Young man, no need to be so formal. Go take a bath and rest in the spa. Don't work so hard. I checked the time. I didn't even realize that it was almost 11 p.m. The spa room inside the precinct was even bigger than my apartment. It was incredibly clean. There's a spa room inside this police station? Be right back. I'm joining the police force. It would be incredible to finish the day with a hot bath. I breathed in the steam, looking forward to a relaxing evening. Then I took off my clothes and stuffed them inside a locker. I closed the locker door and turned around. Lieutenant Kang was right there. He just got undressed. He was in great shape, with lean muscles all over his body. I didn't want to admit it, but when he was not screaming at me, Lieutenant Kang was actually a rather handsome man, despite being a little disheveled. Gyeong-min, it's a little early for office romance. I used to hear a rumor that, despite his peculiar personality, he was still able to keep his position in no small part thanks to solid support from the female police officers in the Criminal Investigation Unit. I guess that made sense. I had already witnessed the female officers from other units smiling at the lieutenant in the hallway, quite a few times on my first day alone. Why didn't anyone smile at me? Speaking of which, not only was Unit 4 a small team, it was also a sausage unit. If only we had an awesome female officer in the unit as well. I hadn't talked to Lieutenant Kang after he yelled at me that afternoon. Yet, now we were standing in front of each other, completely naked. This was not awkward. At all. We got in and out of the hot tub after a spa session that seemed to last forever. Then we went back to the locker room. We put on our clothes and we were about to leave. We never said a word to each other the whole time. I was hoping that I could relieve some of the tension between us.
May I write a letter to him?
Why?
I want to ask for a picture of his boss next time.
I suppose I was too naive. A piece of soap appeared out of nowhere and stopped near us. he reached out. I was taking my clothes out of my locker when I heard a noise. I turned around and saw what had just happened. My eyes involuntarily looked down. I looked back at myself. It took this long for the penis comparison? And then looked at the lieutenant again. This time, our eyes met. And I could see something menacing in his eyes. Oh my god. I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't even see anything. Okay, fine. Actually, I did see something. But I really didn't mean to. I was so screwed. Even if my request to transfer was approved, I wouldn't be able to get out tomorrow. Maybe tonight, the lieutenant would just kill me. Please, Buddha. Please tell me. What should I do? What exactly did he see? I believe in Korea the most popular form is a fish wiener. I have no idea. Sure you do, Fluffy. Sure you do. Okay, kinda seems like Gyeong-min's problem is having checked out his boss's junk. I really like the use of the text sizes in this game. I'm kind of curious how this will... What lines are we pulling out to help Spotty and Daddy? Guess we're gonna find out. Ah. Okay. So... It's the slippery floor. What if Daddy doesn't slip? Is that all we need for Spotty? Maybe we don't want Spotty to run over either. Because then Spotty gets run over. And maybe... So let's have Gyeong-min's soap opera spa go this way. Piece of soap. I'm gonna put reach out after Gyeong-min trying to grab Lieutenant Kang. Cause maybe Lieutenant Kang is accepting the help. Like, maybe it should go here, like Lieutenant Kang tried to get the soap, and then he slipped. But... You know, maybe we should just take everything away from Spotty. Let's see what that does. Oh, that doesn't change anything. Oh, no, that does change it. Here we are. I was gonna say it doesn't change anything for Gyeong-min, but it did. I pulled Lieutenant Kang up from the floor. Well, should I say something? Did that hurt, Lieutenant Kang? That didn't sound appropriate. I was still thinking when Lieutenant Kang swept away my hand. He mumbled something, then turned back to his locker and got dressed as if nothing had happened. I went back to my locker in silence too. What did the lieutenant just say? I could see that his face was all red. Maybe because of the heat. Perhaps he was just saying something like, "Shit, it's so fucking hot in here." That must be it. Daddy jumped ahead just in time, and Beast missed him. Lucky! The Beast kept running with smoke coming out from under it, and ran straight into the next crossing. It was another red light. I saw the Beast hit another, smaller beast. The smaller beast was knocked off its path, and it hit a third beast. Soon the crossing was filled with all kinds of beasts, every one of them barking loudly. Daddy and I turned away and kept walking towards the street. Okay, so that was somehow not the best ending for Spotty. I noticed that it doesn't say anything about Sang-gun here. And also not the best ending for Gyeong-min. Toxic masculinity in action here. So let's try that again. We don't want Daddy to slip. I wonder, but maybe if we make the road slippery, maybe the car will swerve, and Daddy will still be safe. Lieutenant Kang rolled his eyes at me and stood back up by himself. This is because we moved Lieutenant Kang reaching out to before Gyeong-min reaches out his hand to grab him. He then got dressed and left the locker room. I froze and stood there like a statue. If only I'd reached out to grab him sooner. No. I should have gone and picked up that soap. Wow, game giving me an obvious hint here. Oh boy. Was my career over? The beast slipped in water and turned to its side suddenly, like it was drunk. Daddy jumped ahead just in time, and the beast missed him. Lucky! But the beast had run into the rails not too far ahead and finally stopped on the grass. Soon, a human walked out of the beast. He seemed to be okay and just started yelling while checking his beast's round feet. I looked at the beast. Its body had some words on it, but I couldn't read. But I had seen the sign next to it. I used to go hunting birdies with Daddy in a place far, far away. It was deep inside the mountains. But on top of the hill, there was a building that smelled like drugs. Daddy told me that it was a hospital, and it had the same sign as the one on the beast. They really are taking Sang-gun to like an institution. I remember thinking the hospital looked a little strange. The humans inside didn't look hurt at all to me, but none of them would smile. Some of them would burst into laughter or tears all of a sudden. They all looked a little strange. Not like the humans we met in the city. Humans were so strange. Alright, well, that's Spotty's best ending. Still no words on Sang-gun. And the game giving us a pretty clear hint as to how to get the best ending for Gyeong-min here. So let's get that done. What? What if there was no soap? What if there was no soap? Nothing changes for Gyeong-min.
The round feet of the beast happened to step on some soap. The beast suddenly turned to its side like it was drunk. Daddy jumped ahead just in time and the beast missed him. Lucky! The beast continued to charge ahead like a snake. Since the ground was so slippery, it tilted to one side and it slid ahead very fast. It finally stopped after it hit a lamp pole near crossing. I saw a human kid fly out from the front of the beast and smash into the ground. He was lying there, not moving at all. This is definitely not a good end. The kid had yellow hair. It reminded me of a few foreign humans who lived nearby. But he was too far away. I couldn't see his face. I could only see the blood spreading out beneath him. More and more people started to gather around. Daddy shook off the rain on him and quietly said to me, "Spotty, if I had been hit, the humans wouldn't care at all." Spotty, it pains me to say it, but it's true. I mumbled. I was still in shock. Daddy led me away from the accident and continued to the street. This is a rank A ending? No. We gotta save the kid. We gotta save the kid. Let's keep the soap there. I'm really terrified by having Spotty here, he gets run over instead. But if Lieutenant Kang doesn't reach out, then we've done that one already, right? Where Lieutenant Kang doesn't reach out. Oh no, we've had him reach out every time. All right, let's move reaching out back over again. Nope. What if the soap comes after? I grabbed Lieutenant Kang and tried to pull him up, but I slipped and fell too. We had to go back to the hot tub and take another bath to clean ourselves. The water was still very warm, but I was already used to the temperature after the first time. Lieutenant Kang wrapped his towel around his neck again. He didn't close his eyes this time though. Just seemed to be staring blankly ahead. There was only the two of us in the spa room. It was so quiet again. Nothing else was in the air except the steam from the water and the awkwardness. Maybe it was my imagination, but Lieutenant Kang almost looked like a normal, accessible person for a while. I was almost going to ask him something, but eventually I decided to let it go. It was already after work. Maybe I shouldn't talk about it. Well, they're both rank S now. It is not the best result we have for Spotty. But it seems to be enough to get us our next set of letters. And one of them looks to be from Alicia.
take a quick look at Spotty. Oh, hey! Kang Baekyeo's got new information on his profile. Kim Jung-ho, colleague, Lieutenant in Criminal Investigation Department Unit 3. Sadly, slipping in the spa room of the Busan Police Precinct does not count as an important life event. And here's Spotty. A noble stray cat from Korea. I like that Spotty's identification is just a piece of dried fish. Alright. So we still have one ending to see for Spotty. I imagine this will be a number of permutations required, including the one I don't want to do, the one where Spotty may end up getting run over in the street. And then a whole bunch of funky ways this could end for Gyeong-min. But we're gonna call that it for this video. Gonna take a little time to mess around, get the rest of these endings, and next time we will have Alicia, and that's gotta be either Carlos or Chang Gyeong-min. We'll see you then.